Hello and welcome to my first Forex simulation video. Today, this is kind of just going to be like an initiation video, just to sort of give you an insight into how my trading style, what things I look for, and mainly just how I deal with risk, winning trades, cutting losers. So yeah, I think it's gonna, have a lot of people message me and ask things about the way I do things. So I think this will give people a very good insight into how I do things. So we're going to be trading GDP JPY just for small account purposes. I'm going to be using a starting balance of £5,000. I chose to start from mid-January 2019, only because from the first week of January I'd actually already back tested that particular week of the 2019. So one thing I'm going to do is just do like a midweek of each month of the 2019. So, and then we'll work back from previous years. But yeah, so we're going to start with this week here. I'm going to use a 1 to 400 leverage and 150 days back on the chart. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to pull up our chart. So we're going to have the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, and the 30-minute time frame. And then we're gonna load them up. And we're gonna close that. So let's just sort the template out quickly. I have to do this every time. It's very annoying, but oh well. So I think as well, what is good is a lot of people I hear ask me, hey, I've got my support I've got my support drawn differently to you. I have my resistance at this level and you have it at this level. So I think, this will give a good general understanding of how I draw my zones and type of thing I look for. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start breaking down from the daily time frame. So looking at daily's most recent price action, it has formed support down over here at around 137.990. Price has also broke out of this resistance area that we had on the daily time frame. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mark maybe potential daily areas. So if we were going to say look for sells, maybe this support down over here. And then if we're looking for buys, maybe we might see price tap into this area here. And then potentially maybe up to here. Don't know why it does that. Okay. It's just, yeah, right, cool. Let's move down to the 4-hour time frame now. So 4-hour looks like it's sort of broken out of this resistance that we had on the 8th of January. So 4-hour looks like it's broken out. So maybe 4-hour might tap into this resistance up over here at say 139.980 area. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe 4-hour needs to do some sort of a retest and then continue moving up if the trend is gonna stay bullish. So looking at from the 1 hour, kind of price broke out this resistance that we had here, which would then in turn be the 4 hour resistance that we broke out of. But looking at, again, most recent price action, you know, so we've kind of had this support area formed down over here, and then kind of have this resistance on the 1 hour over here. So looking at it from a 1 hour, if I do some annotation, so 1 hour held support at this level here, and just before the weekend, this candle closed below this support. Now it looks like we had like a market gap up into this area here, and it looks like since market open we've actually held resistance at this level here, and looks like candles starting to come back down. So maybe this is going to be that 4 hour retest of this resistance over here. So yeah, that's from a 1 hour, that looks like what might happen. Let's go ahead and move down to the 30-minute time frame. So 30-minute had a support down over here at 139.290, and then looks like 30-minute had a resistance up over here before we had that price gap. So it looks like once we had that price gap, price form support, and then candles starting to close back within this range. So on a 30-minute, maybe we're going to tap into this area down over here at like 139.05, which is about a 30 pip range. Yeah, so looking at it now, this is the type of, see here, you know, a lot of you may see that from the live streams that I do look at wicks in the direction that we're going, that I think we're going to go. So if I'm looking for sells, ideally I want to see a break of this wick here, because if you think about it, once price breaks below this level, as it looks left, it sees that we have this clean candle, because this candle tried to come down, as you know, to imitate this clean move, but rejected this price. So once we get below this wick here, maybe this would be the prime opportunity to say that the probability is much higher now of us coming down to retest this area, because now we've got, you know, we've got past everything. So yeah, I think that's going to be the trade idea. So if we go down to the 30-minute, yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm think on the 30-minute, once we break this area here, I'll be looking to take a sell with maybe a stops in the middle of the range, or maybe above this previous current 30-minute that's about to open. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm just going to go ahead and input my risk. I'm going to risk 2%. I'm only going to do one position, and then we'll close 70% at 10 pips and let 30% runner run at break even, and then we'll just add visual mode. So I'm going to go ahead and start the simulation. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a sell based on the hourly time frame, obviously, and the 30-minute, but ideally I like this wick that we have down over here, especially if now we had this strong bearish candle now starting to close back below this 1 hour support. So ideally this next 1 hour needs to respect the high of this 1 hour, create a top wick and break the low of this current 1 hour, and then potentially break this wick and continue moving down. So we're just going to watch it here on the 30-minute time frame. We'll just speed it up for a sec until we see something going on. So within this price range here, we are just obviously ranging, but I think once we start breaking below here, we're going to start pushing down. So now counter's starting to flip bearish. So if we slow it down, 1 hour has now created that top wick. So this potentially might be an area to place stops. So 30-minute closed, like a week bearish. So ideally you want to see like a break of the low, respecting this high now up over here for us to potentially continue moving down. But at the moment I think we're just ranging. But this 1 hour is still open, you see, so let's see what happens here. $30-minute. About to break this low over here. But in terms of probability, see, if you're looking for sells, you have, say, 2-3 options. So your first option, maybe you might be looking to take a sell, but once price breaks this low here. But the thing you've got to remember is this is a higher risk trade because we're still within this range. I'll be looking to take a sell down below here because this is a break of this support. Once price is breaking everything in its way at that support, then it's breaking. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get below here and we would hold that area as a support. So I think I'm going to do is just speed it up a little bit. So 30 minutes going bullish here. So maybe if we see price come up and close in above this area here, maybe try and look to take a buy. But right now I think the bias is sells. I think the hourly looks nice. Yeah, because if it was buys, then we would have to be breaking above this area here, which is, we have this strong bearish move down. So let's see what happens. So candle close like a weak bullish. So we're still ranging here. So let's see what happens. So hourly closed at bullish as support. So I think still, yeah, I still think if the next one breaks this low, then we're gonna have a higher probability of us still continuing down. However, I won't be taking an entry on the break of the hourly. I'll be taking, my entry on the break of this wick here, so that I can get the highest probability setup for this. So candle's now broke the lows over here. It's starting to come down. So it's broke that 1 hour low. So I think that price should continue moving bearish here now. So I think we're about to get activated in when I'm going to try and press stop. As price comes to the entry so we can take a sell. In fact, we won't bother pausing it. We'll just go for it. We'll treat it like the live. The price coming down now. Yeah, I think I'm going to place stops above this current 1 hour which would be the current 30-minute candle, which would be a good place to place a stop. Just waiting here now for us to get the confirmation. If I speed up too much, I'll end up missing the entry, so I want to try and keep it as realistic as possible. And we are in the trade, so we'll just put say TP down over here just for argument's sake, and we'll go ahead and keep stop above current 1 hour and current 30-minute or previous 30-minute candle. So we've got 11 pips stop, and let's start pull trade up. So we've got our first trade here for the simulation. We'll have it in pips. So ideally want to be in minimal drawdown, you know, and we want to see price start continuing to push down now that we are now past all this area. So on the 1 hour, past this area here, 30-minute should, now that we've started to come down, break this support, should continue moving bearish. So ideally sometimes as well, I do wait for like a close below this area. But when I see like wicks, like a rejection wick like this, then in my eyes, once we're breaking below those wicks, that ideally that is price's last barrier for your confirmation for the way you're gonna take the trade. So just sort of float in here. Let's try and speed it up a little bit. So I think this oh, there we go. Kind of starting to push down now. Nice. So 10 pips. So I'm going to go ahead and close 70%. Go ahead and close that. And we're going to let this run at break even. Nice. So let's just go ahead and speed it up for purposes, time purposes. Yeah, that was a nice trade. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do, I think we're just gonna, yeah, I think I'm just gonna close my runner here at 15 pips profit. So yeah, that was a nice trade. And see how once we got say below this area here, the last barrier for price to imitate this candle here and come down and tap into this area here, but potentially maybe come all the way down to the support area here. But we're gonna call that Asian session a win and move on. Let's go ahead and erase that. Oh, push further down. Yeah, so we tapped into that support area there. Actually broke that support. So yeah, so let's go ahead and skip to the New York session. Cool. So New York session. Let's go ahead and start with the daily time frame. So daily. Yeah, so daily came down to retest that area that we broke out of. Looks like it potentially maybe start closing back within this range, but ideally, yeah, it's just, you know, it's got the rest of the day to decide where it wants to close. So we're just gonna say that daily's now come back down to retest this area. So let's move down to 4 hour. So 4 hour actually now is closed back within this area. So maybe 4 hour may come down to tap into this area over here. Let's move down to the 1 hour. So 1 hour, yeah, 1 hour kind of has this support area down over here that's obviously very strong. Here at 138,690. So I think if we're going to be looking to take any sells, a potential target might be down in this area over here. I think breaking up, I mean obviously this is that daily resistance, so I think maybe breaking up a break above this area here at say 138,920 area, maybe to continue moving up from there. Let's go down to the 30 minute. Yeah, 30 minutes is 30 minute looks like, yeah, it's got this like support down over here that is sort of tapping into. So yeah, and then we've kind of got this resistance here. Yeah, so kind of in this range now on the 30 minute. This is like a 30 pip range. So I think our trade idea will be similar to the 1 hour. If we're going to start breaking below this support here, maybe down into this area here, which is about 30 pips away. So but ideally for buys, if we get a close above say 138,950 area, may get a tap into, yeah, so if we neaten this up, we've got like a area down over here, and then maybe if we start breaking up, we might see price come in, tap into this resistance up over here. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start the New York session. So it is 11:30 GMT, which is hour and a half before New York open. So yeah, so while we're in this range here, I think this is a, well, I know this is a no trading range, but it's quite a choppy range. So I think we want to potentially wait for a close, maybe above this area. But I think a sell, maybe once price breaks past this wick here, maybe the selling opportunity. So yeah, so I think, so yeah, so price already starting to break up now on the 30 minutes. So yeah, so ideally we want to see this candle close above this area here at 138,930 for maybe a continuation moving up to this resistance here. It may just push up, but here's another thing. Looking at that previous trade, I was saying that, you know, once we got beyond that certain level, that price has its last boundary. So for you to take a buy based on that, you would have to be getting above this wick. But the thing is this range is too little of a range to trade. Obviously you've got this wick here, but the thing is because, see, price came up and tapped into this area and pulled away from. So anywhere within this area, like we saw here, price can tap into and reject from. So with these sort of wicks, I think the best thing to do is we wait for a close above this area here, which we may get in the next 10 minutes on the simulator. So I'm just going to go ahead. Yeah, but I think now at this point, I think price is going to continue moving up to 139, 150 area. Kind of at that wick now, so let's see what happens. So this candle's got 5 more minutes to close. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to continue pushing up to that area maybe. But yeah, let's just wait and see. So I think we're just going to go ahead and skip this. Yeah, but there was no confirmations here, because at this level, you know, we're in a bearish trend coming down now. So yeah, I think these buys, there was no confirmation for buys. But as a learning, you can say that we identified that this was a strong area, and that once price was breaking above these wicks, that we see it tap into this area here that we identified, and then potentially a secondary target up over into this area over here. But yes. Go ahead and wait for this candle to close. Cool. So this candle closed very strong bullish. So for me, really, I think we missed the move. Yeah, I think we missed the move here. So yeah, there's not enough range from this support up to this area here, because obviously where would you place a stop? Even though if we say we break the high up over here with a stop below current 30-minute candle that's about to open, we don't know how much it's going to pull back. So yeah, I don't think that would be a good trade. So I think what we're going to do is call that a no trading session, and we're going to move on to the next Asian session. Yeah, so we just so it ended up coming back down. And see, thing is here, look, it broke the high over here, couldn't tap into this area, now started to fall back down. So yeah, I think that was a good call to call that a no trading session. So we're going to go ahead and skip to the Asian session. Cool. So now we're at the Asian session. So yeah, so it looks like on the daily time frame, daily now came down and did that retest, now starting to reject that area to stay above that resistance that we broke out of. Looks like the 4 hour kind of did a fake out to close back in the range and then to close back above. So yeah, maybe the next current 4 hour maybe looking to come up and retest this high that we created. But let's go down to the smaller time frames and see what's going on. Yeah, so looking at it from the 1 hour, 1 hour's got this support down over here, and this resistance area over here at 139.460. So yeah, I think maybe a break of 139.450, 460 area. So I think maybe a break above this area here to maybe come up and retest that high, like we were saying on the 4 hour, to come up and test this area here. So once again, looking at these wicks, we've got this wick here. So maybe again, once price is breaking above this wick here to the left, and then we've got this clean move coming up. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's go down to the 30-minute real quick. 30 minutes got this resistance here, same as 1 hour, and kind of got this support down over here. So yeah, I'm kind of broke out of this mini resistance that we created, but that was, before volumes kicking in. So I think buys above this area here, or maybe if we get a close below this support area here, maybe sell down into this support area down over here, which is about 14 pips. But I think buys look a lot better. So we go ahead, start the Asian session. I'm gonna delete some of these objects. Price starting to push up, so let's just slow this down for a second. Yeah, so looking on the 1 hour, if price starts to break above this wick here to the left, yeah, it's quite a big stop. Oh, let's go and pause that for a sec, just while I work this out. So maybe if we anticipate maybe like a 14 pip stop, potential 30 pip gain. So yeah, I think that could work. Like I say, obviously I'm not looking to go into any drawdowns. So yeah, as long as price breaks this wick and continues moving bullish, I think the buys could work. Let's go ahead and continue. Yeah, unless this candle closes above that 450 area, then I think I'll get in on the break of this wick. Yeah, sort of potentially may not get above it, which would be confirmation that maybe we're not going to continue moving up. But ideally, like I say, that is price's last barrier to potentially come up. Oh, looks like we're going to get triggered in. Let's just take the buy. Yeah, so we're going to have about 13 pip stop. TP will just place up over here just for argument's sake, and then we'll pull up our trade. So once again, I'm going to secure positions at 10 pips, and then nice. So candle close, strong bullish. Probably want to see like a small bottom wick to this current candle, and then a continuation moving up. so we're going to allow price to create the bottom wick for this candle to potentially keep moving bullish. Yeah, I think we should continue pushing up here. Yeah, hourly got 9 minutes left to close, so I think this candle, yeah, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think we want to see this candle close bullish in the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, probably we might take 50% off. So let's push up now. About 8 pips, 7 pips. So I want to secure positions at 10 pips. So I think this candle is going to close hopefully bullish in the next minute. Cool, so candle close like a weak bullish. So maybe we wanna, yeah. Well, we're still bullish, so I think if this low gets broken here, I think I'm just gonna, yeah, maybe exit 50% of the trade. Because ideally we want to see this low be respected for a continuation, so let's go ahead and start that. I think the good thing about closing 50% is that if price doesn't come and hit your stop and still continues in your right direction, then potentially, you didn't take that loss. You just went break even for the day, which is better than the loss. Oh well. Price pushing up. Nice. Cool. So we broke the high over here. We've respected the low of this 30-minute candle here, and now price is starting to push up. So what I'm going to do once again is I'm going to close 70%, and we're going to let the rest run at break even. Yeah, probably just wait for this, see what this candle does, and then decide where we're going to close runners. Oh wow, pushing up. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think I might close at like 20 pips. Damn. Right, I think I'm just going to close my runner here. Nice. Nice. So, yeah, so price should continue maybe moving bullish up into this area, up into here. But yeah, just for time's sake, I'm going to skip. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Yeah, 1 hour. Continue pushing bullish here. 4 hour. Came up to retest that high. Daily. Now flip bullish. So yeah, that was good trade. I think we'll do one more New York session, and then I think we'll call this simulation a day. So yeah, let's go ahead and skip to the New York session. Cool. So go back to the daily time frame. So daily, yeah, so daily came up and actually broke the high of the previous daily candle, but it seems like now we are closing back within this range again. Yeah, so let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, yeah, 4 hours kind of ranging again within this range here. So 1 hour, yeah, 1 hour. So we've got this support down over here on the 1 hour, and then we kind of got this area up over here, and then we've got that new high that we created. Yeah, not sure if I like anything based on the 1 hour. Let's go down to 30 minute. So 30 minutes got a support down over here. Pardon me. And then we've got like a resistance up over here at 139.690. So I think for buys, we want to see a break of this area here. Maybe tap into this support area over here, up over here, or maybe if we're really lucky, we'll come up and retest the high over here. Yeah, so, but similarly, I think for sells, I think the sell opportunity will be a break of 139.340 area to continue down maybe to this area over here at 139.080. So yeah, let's go ahead and start the next New York session. Yeah, I think again, I think for sells, we'd want to see either a close below this area or potentially see. This is the other thing as well, is that I always want to look at the current time. It's good to identify that once we get below these wicks here that we are clean, but at the time you have to understand that where are you going to put your stop, because if, say, this candle continues moving bearish like it does, I know I could have a stop above here, but we don't know how far, say, this candle's going to wick up to know where to place our stop before it's happening. So I think the best thing to do is to wait, until you can visually see where you're gonna want to put your stop loss, and as you see it, your idea that you have identified start to go in your direction. Yeah, so I think maybe a break of these wicks here to target down to the support over here. Yeah, stop's going to be pretty big, so yeah, maybe, yeah, we'll see at the time. because right now we're at support, so you know, if this support is withheld, then you could say that we're maybe going to come up to, you know, 139.680. But ideally you want to see like a close below this area, and then a close above this area here to take a buy. So I think I'm just going to skip it here a little bit, because it seems like we're ranging. Unless I see it start breaking down into these levels here, then I'll start slowing it down, which precisely is what it's doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and slow that down for a sec. Yeah, so this candle's got about 7 minutes to close. So ideally, again, we want to see a break of this level with maybe about 15 pip stop, middle of the range. Continuation down, so about 1-to-1. So I think that might be an idea. Or if this candle closes below this area in the next 5 minutes, we're looking to take a sell down to support. Go ahead and just speed this up a little bit. Maybe I'll try and pause it if the candle starts breaking below this area. So we've got a couple of minutes for the candle to close, but I think maybe we might get an entry before them, unless, you know, maybe not. So candle's going to close in about a minute. So it's just, yeah, I think at this point, I think we're just going to wait for this candle to close. Cool, so this candle closed above this area. Looks like potentially we're starting to reject this area now. So this is the thing as well, as I was saying about that last barrier. See how this wick couldn't break below? There wasn't enough bearish volume or bearish momentum to continue us pushing down. And then this is the result, that we have the candle now closing back above this area, and plus couldn't get below. So I think for the minute there's no confirmation for any sells. So ideally, again, if this candle does come down and break the lows over here, then this will be the candle to do what, say, these candles couldn't do, or this candle couldn't, because this candle couldn't break the lows of these wicks to continue down. So if this candle can, then essentially the probability of us continuing down to this area is much higher. Yeah, But I think if this support holds, then buys up to 139,680 looks good. But I don't trade within this, so there would be no trade for me unless we're breaking either below 139,330 or above 139,675. So I think while we're ranging here for the set, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Yeah, just gotta wait to see. Oh, yeah. So maybe price is starting to break down now. So I think we'll potentially getting a sell once we break. Yeah, break those wicks there. Yeah, that looks like a nice rejection actually to the upside. Check out the hourly real quick. Yeah, hourly same again. If we can get below. Yeah, it's starting to push down now, so I think we're gonna get in once we break that wick there. Right, so now we are in a sell. So I think what we're going to do is have about 13 pip stop. We'll just put our TP down over here, but again, close 70% at 10 pips, and then we will leave the rest to run. Go ahead and speed up a little bit. Price pushing down. Yeah, so I think we'll secure something when we tap into this area here. Let candle do its thing. Just wanted to push down a little bit further. Cool. So I think at this point, 8-9 pips. I think we're going to close 70%. And I think at this point, we're going to let a runner at break even so that we can have a winning day. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we got stopped at a break even. We secured around 8 pips, so still a win. I was just a bit wary because we've seen, like, you know, we can tap into you know, like this candle here, and then kind of pull away from it, which it looks like it done. So yeah, I think that was a smart move. So let's just skip and see what happened there. Yeah, so it kind of did kind of come down, tap into this area here, but then now looks like price starting to go bullish. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it a session there. So just reviewing the trades we took. So we had three winning trades. Made like a 5% return. So yeah, it was a pretty good session, but I hope that gives you guys a better insight into you know, the way that I trade and how I look at things, and I hope that you guys benefit from these sort of videos. So what I'm looking to do is to do some more simulation videos coming up in the next few weeks. So I do kind of maybe 1 to 2 simulations a week. So I'll probably do one of those recorded, one not recorded. But yeah, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it benefited you. And yeah, please like, subscribe, drop any comments. But mainly, if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop me a DM. So yeah, thank you very much.